Ladies and gentlemen, there exists a certain kind of woman who walks this world without the customary ties that others might take for granted. She carries no familial name that stirs warm recognition, no hand-me-down stories that link her to a great chain of kin. To many she may seem incomplete, a lone figure standing apart from the intricate web of relationships that bind humanity together. But let us not mistake her solitude for isolation, nor her independence for isolation, for the woman with no family is a testament to truths that many of us overlook. Human beings are created with an intrinsic need for connection, a longing for belonging that echoes in the deepest chambers of the heart. This is not a learned desire, but one woven into the very fabric of our existence. From the earliest moments of life, we are drawn to others, first to our mothers and fathers, then to siblings, friends, and the wider community. These bonds, though sometimes fraught with tension, are the threads that weave the tapestry of our lives, giving it meaning and form. But what happens when these connections are absent? For the woman without family, this question is not theoretical but lived. The absence of the usual ties, whether by circumstance, choice, or loss, does not extinguish the longing. Rather, it sharpens it. She becomes acutely aware of the emptiness left by what many take for granted. Yet this is not a deficiency in her, but a reflection of the design written into all humanity. We were made for others, and the ache she feels is evidence of this truth. However, this longing is not a weakness. In fact, it is a sign of her strength and her humanity. To feel the absence of family so profoundly is to acknowledge the importance of those bonds. It is to resist the temptation to grow numb or indifferent to the relational nature of life. She feels more deeply because she understands, perhaps better than most, what is truly at stake. The woman without family does not harden her heart against the idea of belonging. Rather, she becomes more attuned to its value. This heightened awareness can lead to a life of extraordinary purpose. For while she may not have the familiar support of blood relatives, she often finds herself drawn toward others who are also searching for connection. Her longing propels her outward rather than inward, compelling her to seek relationships that are genuine and meaningful. This pursuit requires courage, for the absence of family can sometimes lead to isolation. Yet she does not settle for mere proximity or superficial ties. She seeks a connection that speaks to her soul, that answers the unspoken question of her existence. Am I seen? Am I known? Am I loved? In this quest, the woman without family often discovers something profound about herself and about others. She learns to see beyond appearances and into the hearts of those around her. She develops a sensitivity to the needs of others that might elude those who have always been surrounded by familial support. Her longing for belonging becomes a bridge, connecting her to those who might otherwise remain unseen or overlooked. In this way, her life becomes a testament to the power of human connection, even in its absence. Ultimately, the absence of family does not diminish her humanity, it deepens it. She carries within her a reflection of a greater truth, that our longing for belonging is not merely a desire for earthly ties, but a glimpse of something eternal. In seeking to belong, she reminds us all of our shared need to find our place, not just in a family, but in a larger, more profound story. When one speaks of solitude, it is often cast in the shadow of loneliness, as though the two were inseparable. Yet solitude has a nature distinct from loneliness. It is not merely the absence of company, but the presence of the self. unadorned and unaccompanied. For the woman without family, solitude is not a fleeting condition, but a constant companion. And though it may seem a hardship at first glance, it holds within it an unexpected strength, a strength forged in the quiet crucible of self-reliance. Say no. Say no. Without the immediate network of family, this woman learns to navigate the world on her own. While others may lean on the advice of a mother, the guidance of a father, or the camaraderie of siblings, she must chart her course with no familiar voices to reassure her or redirect her steps. This independence, though daunting, shapes her into someone extraordinary. She learns to trust her instincts, to weigh her decisions with care, and to face the consequences of those decisions with courage. In this way, her solitude becomes a kind of teacher, instructing her in resilience, adaptability, and inner strength. It is often said that strength is born of struggle, and nowhere is this more evident than in the life of a woman who must rely on herself. The absence of a safety net forces her to develop a resourcefulness that others may never need to cultivate. She learns to endure seasons of scarcity, whether material or emotional, and to find within herself the capacity to persevere. This endurance is not a mere stubbornness, but a quiet confidence, a knowledge that she can weather life's storms because she has done so before. Each trial she faces alone becomes a testament to her ability to stand firm, and each success becomes a victory that is wholly her own. Finally, she triumphs, and if she fails, she finds success in triumph as reward. Each trial she faces alone becomes a testament to her ability to stand firm, and each success expands her range. But the strength of solitude is not only found in endurance, it is also found in clarity. In the stillness of her solitary life, she is free from the noise of familial expectations, free to ask herself the deeper questions that others might avoid. Who am I, apart from the roles others assign to me? What do I value, apart from what I am taught to value? What is my purpose, and how shall I fulfill it? These are not easy questions, and they are not quickly answered. But in the quiet of her solitude, she has the space to wrestle with them honestly, and in doing so, she gains a clarity of purpose and identity that many spend a lifetime seeking. Finally, the strength of solitude lies in its ability to foster compassion. Having walked through seasons of aloneness, she is uniquely equipped to understand the struggles of others. Her heart becomes a wellspring of empathy, a reservoir of kindness for those who are weary or lost. In this way, her solitude is not a prison, but a gift, both to herself and to those around her. Thus, while the world may pity the woman who walks alone, she carries within her a strength that is as unyielding as it is unseen, a strength born not of circumstance, but of choice, not of abundance, but of quiet resolve. When a woman grows up within a family, she often inherits an identity shaped by the expectations, traditions, and narratives of those who came before her. She is someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's niece, and so forth. These roles, while providing a sense of belonging, also come with definitions that are imposed rather than chosen. But for the woman without family, this framework is absent. She is not bound by the weight of ancestral stories, nor is she confined by the roles others might assign her. Instead, she is faced with a challenge both daunting and liberating: to define herself entirely on her own terms. The absence of a familial foundation forces her to ask questions that others may take for granted. Who am I? What do I stand for? What is the legacy I wish to create? These are not small questions, nor are they answered quickly. They demand introspection, courage, and an unflinching willingness to confront both her strengths and weaknesses. Unlike those who have the luxury of leaning on inherited values or familial reputation, she must build her identity from the ground up. This is a solitary endeavor, but it is also a deeply creative one. She is, in a sense, both the architect and the cornerstone of her own existence. This process of self-definition often reveals a profound inner strength. Without the guidance or constraints of family, she learns to listen to her own inner voice. This voice, though perhaps faint at first, grows stronger with time. It becomes a compass, guiding her through life's complexities with a clarity that is unclouded by external pressures. In a world that often seeks to tell women who they should be, this woman has the rare opportunity to determine for herself who she will become. Her identity is not handed to her. It is forged through experience, reflection, and deliberate choice. Yet this journey is not without its challenges. Without a family to anchor her, she may feel adrift at times, as though she is a ship without a harbor. The lack of familial ties can leave her vulnerable to the winds of self-doubt or the tides of societal expectation. But it is precisely in navigating these challenges that she discovers her own strength. Each decision she makes, each value she embraces, becomes a testament to her resilience and determination. Over time, she comes to see that her identity is not something she lacks, but something she has built, a testament to her courage and individuality. This self-definition is not an act of isolation, but of connection. By understanding who she is, she becomes better equipped to form meaningful relationships with others. She is not defined by who she belongs to, but by what she believes and what she chooses to give to the world. In this way, her lack of family becomes not a limitation, but a source of freedom. She is free to live authentically, to pursue her passions without compromise, and to build a life that reflects her true self. Thus, the woman without family becomes a symbol of what it means to live deliberately. Her life is not shaped by the expectations of others, but by her own vision of what is good, true, and beautiful. In defining herself, she demonstrates that identity is not something we inherit, but something we create. And in doing so, she inspires others to do the same. The bonds of family are often considered the most natural and enduring connections in life, forged by blood and nurtured by shared history. Yet for the woman without family, these bonds are absent, and the relationships she forms instead are chosen, not inherited. End of poem. This recording is in this absence, while it might seem like a loss, creates the unique opportunity to forge connections of profound significance. Relationships that are built on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine affection, rather than obligation or tradition. In families, connections often come with expectations rooted in duty. Parents care for children, siblings support one another, and the collective identity of the family often defines the individual. While this can be a source of strength, it can also blur the lines between genuine love and mere routine. The woman without family, however, is not bound by these dynamics. Every relationship she builds is intentional, free from the inertia of assumed responsibility. This freedom allows her to seek relationships that nourish her soul, rather than merely fulfilling societal norms. When bonds are formed by choice, they take on a different texture. They are not simply convenient or circumstantial, but deliberate and purposeful. The woman without family invests deeply in these relationships because she understands their rarity and significance. Unlike inherited ties, which may persist regardless of effort, chosen relationships require care, attention, and mutual commitment. This intentionality often makes them stronger and more enduring than those formed by accident of birth. Moreover, the woman without family approaches relationships with a heightened sensitivity to their value. Having experienced the absence of familial ties, she does not take connection for granted. She knows the ache of solitude and the profound joy that even a single meaningful relationship can bring. This awareness allows her to pour herself fully into her friendships, romantic partnerships, and chosen communities. Her relationships become a reflection of her values, marked by authenticity, kindness, and an unwavering commitment to those she loves. Now, the absence of familial bonds also teaches her to see potential in unconventional places. She learns to build a family of her own design, composed of individuals who share her values and aspirations. This chosen family may include friends, mentors, colleagues, or even strangers who cross her path and leave a lasting impression. The relationships she creates are not limited by tradition or societal expectations. They are bound only by the strength of shared understanding and purpose. Yet these chosen relationships do more than fill a void. They transform it into something beautiful. In forming bonds that are rooted in choice rather than obligation, the woman without family demonstrates that connection is not about lineage, but about love. She shows that true family is not defined by shared ancestry, but by shared lives, by the mutual willingness to bear each other's burdens and celebrate each other's joys. See Simeo Jorivoe Numi Oba. Through her chosen relationships, she redefines what it means to belong. She reminds us that the greatest bonds are not those we are born into, but those we create with intention and care. In this way, her life becomes a testament to the power of love, freely given, unbound by duty, and unshaken by circumstance. 7. The concept of family is often tied to bloodlines and heritage, but at its core, family is about connection, love, and support. For the woman without family, the absence of traditional bonds opens the door to a deeper exploration of what family truly means. In this exploration, she discovers that grace, the unmerited and transformative gift of love, plays a pivotal role in redefining and restoring the idea of family. Through grace, she finds belonging not in biology, but in the profound connections formed through shared purpose, mutual understanding, and unconditional care. Grace is a quiet but powerful force, one that allows relationships to flourish where they might otherwise wither. It is the willingness to forgive, to embrace, and to accept others as they are. For the woman without family, grace becomes both her anchor and her compass. In the absence of familial ties, she learns to extend grace to herself first, forgiving her perceived shortcomings and releasing the weight of societal expectations. This self-acceptance becomes the foundation for her ability to connect deeply with others. The absence of family can often lead to feelings of isolation, but grace transforms this isolation into opportunity. It teaches her to see others not through the lens of what they can provide, but through the lens of shared humanity. The woman without family begins to recognize that everyone carries their own burdens, their own stories of loss and longing. In this recognition, she becomes a vessel of compassion, offering kindness and understanding to those who may also feel adrift. Her openness to connection, born of grace, allows her to build relationships that rival or even surpass traditional familial bonds. These chosen relationships are not bound by obligation, but by love. Grace enables her to create a family that transcends bloodlines, a family composed of friends, mentors, colleagues, and kindred spirits. These bonds are not accidental. They are deliberate acts of mutual care and trust. In this way, her life becomes a tapestry of relationships that reflect the beauty of grace in action. Each thread represents a connection formed not out of necessity, but out of a shared commitment to support and uplift one another. Moreover, grace leads her to a broader understanding of family as something eternal rather than temporal. She discovers that true belonging is not confined to earthly ties, but extends to a greater, more profound relationship with the divine, with humanity, and with the very essence of love itself. This realization frees her from the confines of traditional definitions of family, allowing her to embrace a vision of connection that is limitless and inclusive. In the end, the woman without family becomes a living testament to the transformative power of grace. She shows us that family is not about who we are born to, but about who we choose to love and be loved by. Through her journey, she redefines family as a reflection of grace, a gift that is not earned or inherited, but freely given and endlessly shared. Her life reminds us all that true family is not about where we come from, but about the relationships we build through the generosity of our hearts.